Hey guys, today I'm going to show you a motorcycle that in my opinion would be a awesome motorcycle for a bug out vehicle, and for one main really particular reason. This particular motorcycle has a range of 650 plus miles with just the fuel in the tank that you see there. Stick around, I'll be back to tell you more about it. Well, hello YouTube! Hey guys, it's Fletch. Welcome back to the Big Sky Tactical Channel here in Big Sky Country, also known as Montana. Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about one of the best, if not the best, in my opinion of course, bug out motorcycles that's out there. What you're currently looking at here is a picture of a Kawasaki KLR 650 that our United States Marine Corps uses. And you can see they've done lots of things, so like painted the frame and the rims and all of that and whatnot to give it the camo look. But one thing that differentiates this motorcycle from a regular Kawasaki KLR 650 is that it is a diesel burner, and it can get 96 miles per gallon. That's what this particular article states. However, the History Channel did a piece on this particular bike here not too long ago, and I'll put a link to the video below. But they're saying that they get 110 miles per gallon on the diesel versions of it. Well, that's a 6.6 gallon tank that's on there. So 100 times 6.6, that's 660 mile that you could go on this before you need to refill it. That is freaking amazing. And so but it's not just the range that you have with this motorcycle. These motorcycles have been built in this particular style here that you're looking at in this picture for 30 years, from 1987 to 2007. And they are just frickin' bulletproof. People do dual sport motorcycling or adventure cycling, different names that people call it. But people have literally ridden these things, all the way up and down the Alcan, the Canadian-Alaska highway, some of the roughest, nastiest, gnarliest roads in the world, as well as starting in Southern California and running down through Baja, all the way down into Panama and different things like that. And these things are just bulletproof, and they're super reliable. And so it totally makes sense to me that the United States Marine Corps would choose to use this particular motorcycle. I have ridden these motorcycles for about 10 years, and so I have a lot of first-hand experience with them as well. This isn't just an idea or a thought I had of something that might be good. This is also coming from my personal experiences and having owned several of these motorcycles over the year and done some pretty nasty trail riding on them, as well as using it as a commuter to go to and from work. So there's definitely a lot of different things that these motorcycles are good for. Obviously, someone's always going to say, well, you don't want a vehicle that looks like a military vehicle because you're going to attract unwanted attention. And if you're living in inner city, I can see that might be an issue for you. So having that in mind, you may not want to paint yours up like this, right, or black it all out, or whatever. Well, Here's Kawasaki.com. This is the 2012, and as you can see, they look a little bit different. The fairing on the front here is different, as well as the front fender. They did some minor changes and improvements to the suspension, and that's basically it. Still not a lot of change. And you know, if you're going to be having a motor vehicle, you know, you're probably going to want to carry some extra stuff with you, right? Well, if you want to, Kawasaki themselves has, you know, things that you can buy like saddlebags here, 180 bucks. A trail trunk, 135. Tank bag, 65. And that's MSRP, so you probably find them for cheaper than that. But they would probably blend in a little bit more if you're concerned about that type of thing. Now, obviously, you know, if you're living in the city, some great advantages to a motorcycle is, you know, you can drive down between the lanes of traffic if need be. And you know, if it was SHTF or WROL situation, and you know, the rule of law ain't there anyways, there's a lot of other things that you could do on a motorcycle, like drive up and down sidewalks, bike paths, go up and down stairs. You know, a really good idea might also be, you know, driving down to the nearest railroad track and then just following the railroad tracks out of town. And those are all things that you could do very easily on a motorcycle like this. And I'll show you some pretty some pictures of me doing some pretty intricate trail riding with one of these here in a minute. But obviously, you know, if you're wanting to go with something like this and you want some luggage that you can put on there so you can take some crap with you when you're bugging out, well, here's some options and some things you might want to look at. First off, if you upgrade the electrical system on the bike and put a larger stator in it, which provides more direct current electricity, here is an electric jacket that you can use. And this is from KLR650.com, and I'll put links below for all of this stuff for you guys that care. Here is, as you can see here in the top, this motorcycle comes stock, and this is the 2000 and older model of the bike, which I would definitely recommend, because that particular model line has been made for like 30 years. The aftermarket product line for these bikes is phenomenal. You can buy all kinds of things for these motorcycles, and you know, they have almost a cult-like religious following. People that love KLRs love their KLRs. They're just bulletproof and they're great bikes. But here again, the stock skid plate on is plastic, so you would want to upgrade it to a metal one. As you can see here, this is also on KLR650.com, and here it shows you mounted on the motorcycle. Let's move on here. Headlight guard, that would probably be pretty important too. Protect your headlight in case you take a digger. Alright, here is, this is happytrail.com or happy-trail.com. I'll put links below, but this is one of the older model bikes. Get a little bit exploded view of it here. And as you can see, this has saddlebags on the back here. And these are heavy-duty aluminum, but they've been painted black. And there's special racks that you have to mount on your bike, and you can put these heavy-duty saddlebags on here, as well as this tank bag that's on the top here. And you can haul a lot of crap in there. And obviously, you know, you would probably be wearing a pack on your back as well, a backpack or something like that. And you know, this just provides extra storage, and these are quick detachable as well, so that you can take them off. So if you wanted to park your bike in one place and then, you know, take your gear to your campsite or something like that, then you would be able to do that with these as well. Here's a skid plate like we were talking about earlier that's mounted on there, And then here are some radiator guards that I'll show you a better picture of those here in a minute, and what the importance of those are. So here it is. Let's get a blown up picture of it. So there we are. And what these do is, you can see this bracket that comes down around here, and then it mounts onto the frame bar down there. This protects your radiator in these shrouds that are on your tank that force the air to go through the radiator. And so something like this you would definitely want to invest in as well if you're serious about it. And then this also has a nice little feature on it right here. Some foot pegs, cruiser pegs, highway pegs, whatever you want to call them. They fold up and down. Excuse me. And you know, this motorcycle can easily do 70 or 80 miles an hour down the highway, no problem. And actually the Marine Corps claims that their bike will do 100. It can cruise at 100. Now obviously you're going to have to do some different things with gearing and whatnot to make that happen, but there's another idea of a product that you would probably want to check into as well if you wanted to make a serious bug out bike. And let's see here, like I was talking about before, they do have a large following. Here's a Yahoo users group, but if you're not familiar with those, it's just kind of like an email list that you can get on and share product reviews and your thoughts, ask questions of other people for different things that are of interest to you. In this case, it's the Kawasaki KLR 650, and there are over 8,000 members that are in this group, and it's been around since 1998. So they definitely have a large cult following. And so if you just wanted to talk to some other people that actively ride KLRs and get some information from them, this would be a great place to go. And I'll put a link to this below as well. And then I also wanted to show you some pictures from doing some trail riding that I've done over the years. There's me and my KLR 650 there. That's just the kind of views you get. Fire roads, 2-track like this is nothing for a KLR 650. We can handle that, no problem. That's actually a U.S. Forest Service trail. Yeah, I know there's water running down it. It's called Jenny Creek Trail, and that's actually my buddy Steve riding right there on his KTM LC4, which is also a decent bike, but it's not the same thing as a KLR 650. It requires a lot more maintenance. It's not as bulletproof as a KLR 650, but it is a very able dirt bike. There's a picture of yours truly. There's a picture of our motorcycles in front of a trestle bridge there in Colorado. There we are taking a break. There's one of the trails that we rode down that day. That's I-70 you see down below there. And this little town over here you can kind of see is Georgetown, Colorado. There's some pictures of the trail. You can see how far down that is. I'll show you another picture of that here in a second. Here's the same day up above the tree line. Beautiful. These motorcycles can handle pretty much anything. There's a picture of the last KLR that I owned there. You can see I don't have it outfitted with all of the saddlebags and panniers there. It was just a day trip. There's some mountain goats. A much better picture of those here in a second. There's that same trail. Now here's an idea of the kind of intricate trail riding that you can do with these. And that's at Jenny Creek Trail again. And these motorcycles are perfectly capable of doing it. This is what the older models, the 2000 and older models, what your instrument cluster looks like. And you can see this motorcycle has 20,000 miles on it. That's nothing for a KLR 650. That's been taken care of properly. And this is one of the first ones that I owned, and this particular one, I think it was at 89, and you can see it has a pretty outlandish color scheme on it, but it was still a great motorcycle. And some of my riding buddies, Trestle Bridge again. But look at that. That's a picture we got that day when we were up riding in Colorado. Isn't that awesome? But those are the kind of, scenery that you can enjoy. Obviously, that's about a 300-foot drop, and obviously I trusted the off-road prowess of this motorcycle to be riding down a trail like that. So to give you any idea of what that motorcycle is capable of as far as its off-road worthiness as well. So whether you're looking at doing something like this or something like this, it's certainly a very capable motorcycle. The gas-powered units like this, they will get about 50 miles a gallon, something like that. And obviously that's going to depend based on your carburetor jetting, your gearing, your air intake, and your exhaust on a motorcycle. Has a lot to do with how many miles per gallon that you get. Or something like this, and you can buy diesel conversion kits for these. And I've seen articles and guys claiming that they're getting from 110 to 130 miles per gallon with the conversion kits that are on there. And if actually they're here on YouTube, there's a couple of videos about them as well. And so you can make contact with those guys and ask them questions or something as well. So okay guys, one other thing that I wanted to share with you real quick. A great way to save weight on your motorcycle is to get a plastic tank, and they also carry or hold a little bit more fuel. Here is a replacement plastic tank that you can buy for your bike. You can get it in that black color. You can get it in a translucent black, green solid, or OD green. Looks like they're about $235, but you can just imagine the savings that you're going to get, going from a metal tank to a plastic tank. So I wanted to share this with you as well. And like I said, these are good for the years 1987 through 2007. In 2008, they revamped the motorcycles, so they are a little bit different. And I would recommend that if you're looking to get one of these, that you get one that's older than 2007, because the aftermarket for the products for the bikes is huge if you get the older ones compared to the newer ones. Plus just your investment. These bikes or motorcycles only cost about $5,000-ish brand new, and so you can buy used ones that are still in really pretty good condition for $2,000 to $4,000 easily. And if you look real hard, you can find them even in decent condition for less than $2,000, depending on where you live and the time of year that you're buying and whatnot. So anyways, I wanted to share this with you as well. This is from dual-star.com, and I'll put a link to the video below. Anyways guys, if you're looking for a good bug out vehicle, in my opinion this would be an awesome choice. These are bulletproof motorcycles. There's a huge aftermarket of protection things that you can buy for them, and bulletproof luggage, and just all kinds of stuff that you can get for these motorcycles. And I'm a huge fan of them. I've ridden them for like 10 years. And so if you have any questions about them or any of the accessories that I was showing you or anything like that, please feel free to post your questions down below. I'll be happy to help you if I can. Guys, thanks a lot for watching today. I greatly appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed to my channel and you would like to receive notification on when I make new videos about preparedness, tactical gear, firearms, things like that, please hit the yellow subscribe button, and you'll be notified. Thank you very much for watching today, guys. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you're having a great day. God bless.